Good morning, good af, whatever time it is. Hi, everybody. Welcome back. Let's see. All right. Okay. I think Gina's not here today. She's not able to come. Anastasia, could you get um find the banner for the Medicine Buddha event for online registration, please? I'm going to talk about that a little bit later. Thank you. All right. Cool. So we're in the middle of, where are we? We're discussing what to do in meditation when you have certain problems. And we went through in the last class all the different things you can do from when you have subtle dullness, when you recognize you have subtle dullness, all the way up to the most obvious forms of dullness, which is like just being sleepy, right? You're just not able to stay awake in meditation and all the things that you should do to counteract that. And we talked about all of those details. And now we've moved on from that particular form of the problem of meditation. And we started the aspects of when your mind is too busy versus too dull. And we're going to be moving from subtle. We think we just did subtle. Let's see here. Where is it? Yeah, we did more subtle aspects of agitation, like when your mind is busy. And so we're kind of building the discussion from the most subtle things, where basically a subtle agitation is kind of like this. You're meditating and you're doing pretty well. And you you've your lake of your mind is calm, right? If you were to look at, if you could, if we could connect your mind to some kind of machine, and it would make a picture of a lake, the surface of the lake would be very smooth. And in fact, you might even say that the surface of the lake is frozen, right? Your meditation is really that good. But then underneath, you sense the moving of a thought. Like you're sensing a fish moving under the water. Like I was at a creek, yeah, a couple of days ago hiking, and it was really smooth, except every once in a while, like a little fish would come up, right? Would just poke its head up. And then there would be these tiny ripples that would go across the still lake, or the still stream. And so subtle agitation is kind of like that, where your mind is clear, your mind is fixated, you have just a little bit too much intensity. And you can feel the fish underneath the water about to come up and make a ripple at the top. It hasn't yet, but it's just about ready to, break the surface tension of the water. And when your meditation gets good, you can feel that that's about to happen. So basically, when this happens, we have to just slightly hold back, like turn the voltage down just a little bit, turn that or it means we're holding the object too tightly, which kind of seems a little counterintuitive. Like, I'm not supposed to, what are you telling me? I'm not supposed to hold my mind on the object? Well, yes, you are. But if you hold on to it too tightly, like, like when you want to pet a cat and you're like, this is the example I used last week. You're like, oh, you're so cute. I just want to cuddle you. Right. And you pick up the cat or the dog and you're like, I just saw Mike Hoffman's dog. Right. You're like, and you just want to hold on to it. Right. What happens when you squeeze the cat too much? Right. The cat starts fighting and the cat's like, no, I don't want to be squeezed this much. It's the same in meditation. You could try to squeeze that object more, but then the object kind of gets, you know, this isn't a good object. I'm still moving. Let's see if I can find something. I know what I want. This will work fine. Cat toy. All right. It has a particular shape. Right. I hold on to it, it maintains its shape. But if I squeeze too tightly, right, it starts mushing out on both sides. Right. So now all of a sudden we don't have a nice, I don't know. I guess this is a fish. I don't know, whatever, cat toy. This is normal shape. I squeeze too much and it becomes a different shape. And it's the same thing. And then all of a sudden, all these other thoughts just kind of, start coming through. So the idea is that, oh, I'm starting to feel that fish almost come out of the water. Don't squeeze so tight. Just go, you know, soften, expand it. Like expand your awareness or make the object smaller or make the, whatever relaxes your hold on that object. Because counterintuitively, it's what we want to do sort of naturally. Is like, oh, I'm about to lose this. I should hold on. Right. That's what your mind wants to do. Like, oh, I'm about to drop my coffee or my tea on my computer. I should hold a little bit tighter. Right. But if I had, I don't know, superhero hands and I squeezed too tightly, I would break the cup and then my coffee would go everywhere. Right. So it's that idea. Learn how to relax before the fish comes out of the water and makes the ripples. The next advice Pagonka Rinpoche gave was, well, maybe that's not helping. Maybe the ideas are starting to pop out. He says, well, first of all, don't be too happy. Stop being happy. It's the only time I've ever seen in any Buddhist text where it says, don't be happy. Okay. Don't be too happy. You know, tone it down a little bit. We all have that one friend who's annoyingly happy. Like every group of friends has the one person that's always just obnoxiously always in a good mood. Yes, Laura, it means don't focus so hard on the object. Right. So if you're too happy, that means you've too much energy in the system, right? So you want to dial that back. The next advice he gave was, right, we talked about King Shudodana, which you were absolutely correct. I think it was Jackie who said it. Someone said it. That is the father of Lord Buddha. He wasn't able to see emptiness directly because he was too happy. Okay. Basically, he said, if your sense of joy is too excessive, you won't be able to see emptiness directly. Since it flows around. Right. Okay. Cool. And then we had a quote about, where is it here? Okay, nice. Right. Now we're on a section where it's like, all right, these things aren't working. You're either you're too happy and you haven't been able to calm that down, or just by releasing your hold on the object a little bit, loosening up doesn't take away from agitation. So now we're on the next section here where he talks about to put your mind on things that are um, a little depressing, I would say. Things that are a little, like he says, first of all, thinking about the impermanence of you, right? Thinking of the impermanence of life. I talked about in the last class, one of my really good friends came back came back early from a trip because she's having some intense pains and they figured it out. She has to have some surgery. Right. And I was just watching her last night and I was like, you can see how much pain she was in. And then I was thinking about the impermanence of it all, right? This person could go away very quickly. The other thing we noticed last night is we were all like, there were 4 or 5 of us in the hospital, after picking him up and different people coming in and helping. And we were having a good time. And one of the people there, Venerable Jigme, she was like, you realize we're having a lot of fun right now. And we looked around at everyone else in the emergency room and we realized, oh my God, like, yeah, we're worried about our friend. And yes, we're all there supporting her. And yes, we're very, very, concerned about it. And we were having fun, right? Like someone brought snacks, we were telling stories. We were just, we were enjoying ourselves like we were at a cafe. We just were sitting in an emergency room, right? At 10 at night.
这天，那个是
Oh, whose Google Drive is that? Thank you for sharing. Um, why am I telling you this? Oh, being a Buddhist can be really fun too. Like even in the face of suffering, right? And even my friend who wasn't feeling well, she was still cracking jokes as well. It's just sort of our nature. It seems to be our nature. We were wondering if other people thought the same thing, or if they were just annoyed and they were like, "How can these people be so happy?" Right? I mean, what option do you have in that moment? But what Pabonka Rinpoche is saying is think about the impermanence of life, and that can bring down the voltage of your joy, right? If you have too much ignorant joy, I don't know. I'm not sure what it's like. All right, here we go. Where are we? We are on this verse right here. Let's get moving. All right, here we go. First person I see is Marina, WVP. Can you read 150, please?
Shepatarchivami takpatan perbatan gansoki duk mgel sok tem sumpatan kioshetan yi
Mm-hmm.
chunk wei gyu nam tam.
Excellent. Nice job. All right, Shepatar. Shepa is the end of the quotation, what we were just talking about. Let's go back to the quotation. The reason we didn't stop there because I wanted to teach you that when you see Shepa, you translators, it always means there's a quote beforehand. All right. Here's the quote beforehand. Kupami tatva sopa yila chipe shiwaja. So what this is saying is that Shivarja, put to rest, you can You can put to rest, make peaceful, is what it literally means. Make peaceful gupa, agitation, by bringing to your mind impermanence, mitak, and other things. All right. So basically, in this quote, right, he's saying, think about impermanence and other things, which will pacify your mind, meaning bring it down. Okay. So, Shepatar, what this is saying is that you can use topics like mitakpa, impermanence, or chiwa, your death, or korwa, the sufferings of the cycle and pain, or the sufferings, duknyal, of the lower realms, nensong. Okay. Sok, or any other topic. So you can use death, you can use impermanence, the cycle of suffering, the suffering that's in the lower realms. You can bring all of those things to mind as a way to bring down sumpa, the mind. All right. And what this will do is it gives you a feeling of renunciation or just general tiredness, right? Of this life. You get exhausted, you get frustrated. It's like we were actually kind of talking about it last night. Like the hospital we were at, beautiful place, right? They know how to take care of people. They know how to make you feel good in the face of the suffering. You know, the staff is very kind, they're compassionate, they're knowledgeable. The environment's designed well. There's nice, gentle music. They have, you know, you can get snacks and coffee pretty much anywhere for free from the hospital. But if you really think about it, it's a place of sickness. It's a place of, it's depressing, right? A lot of those people in there are old. A lot of them are dying. My friend is older, right? Here's one major disaster that if she survives it, she'll have another one in 10 years, 5 years, right? You know, so thinking about those kinds of things can bring that joy, that voltage down just a little bit. All right. 151. Who's next? Interpreters. Natalia. Natalia Z. Let's start with 151.
Окей. Дадун мисел на горба цан чапсу кот чапс нам дог шаче ва
Way.
ве дук
Ook.
дук дук
Ook.
чун
This is just ook.
бук
Yeah.
чун губ ла мик па шет па тар яте.
Nice job. Your reading's getting really good.
Thank you.
All right. So if this doesn't work, okay, what, again, it's like if the agitation does not subside after you've thought about death, after you've thought about impermanence or the cycle of suffering or all the beings in the lower realms or something similar, if that doesn't work, then you're going to have to do some drastic measures to break this. So basically what we're having here is you're having too many thoughts, right? The thoughts are too much. So what he suggests is you have to focus on la mikpar, you want to focus on the inhalations and exhalations of your breath. Okay. Now things are getting pretty drastic, right? You can't turn down the voltage, loosen your hold on the object. You've tried to think about all these things, but these depressing things still aren't depressing you enough. Sorry, I have an ant on my glasses. Hey, little buddy. If all of those things don't work and you still have too many thoughts, you need to focus on the exhalations and inhalations. Bring your mind back to your breath. Notice we're not talking about seeds yet. Okay. Because this may not work. Your seeds for agitation might just be too much. Well, let's see what he says next. Who's on the next picture here? Natalia did it. Marina did. Jackie, you're next. 152.
I'm not sure about this first word.
Ook. Ook.
Ook.
It sounds like a hiccup. Ook.
Ook.
Okay.
Groong, song ki, sefar, gro bayin, no, yampa, dong sir, ong song, yampa dong, didong po, yampa dong, dizen, du, gru, ongi, rongin, yi rong, nadong, por, sum, zisam, lami, ubyong, larduna, wrong.
Okay. We can't apply the same thing to every word. This is tube, not ub. This is actually you pronounce all the letters in this one. So this is tube kyang. And then you had the hiccup ook. Nice job. Your reading's getting really good. All right. So now we're focusing on the breath. To do this, we should think to ourselves down here in Nyampa, and we should watch the coming and going of your breath. You should think to yourself, oh, this is my breath leaving my body. And then you say, and that's the breath coming in. All right. So it's not just focus on your breath, but you focus on, okay, this is my breath going out. And this is my breath coming in. All right. And then you also think to yourself, this breath is number one. So you always start with the exhale and inhale. 1, exhale, inhale, 2. Why? Why do normally we focus on inhales and exhales? Normally we say inhale, exhale, 1. Like that's what yoga teachers do, right? Raise your arms up, inhale, exhale your arms down, right? But let's think, it's better to think about it exhalations, and Pabonka talks about exhalations first and then inhalations second. Why? Does anyone know why? Does anyone know why we focus on the exhalation first and inhalation second? Shijung Shang got it. Because when we're done with this life, the last thing that happens is an exhale. So we're planting seeds to have more life by inhaling second. Okay. Let's go here. All right. So you think to yourself, here's one. Here, there's two. So you're not typically, when you do this, you're not going to be able to get past, and he says, Dangpor Sunshi, right? Firstly, you're probably not going to be able to get beyond number 3 or number 4 before your mind goes off to something else. All right. So basically he's saying, all right, start counting exhales and then inhales. That's 1, exhale, inhale, 2. But by the time you get 3 or 4, your mind is so good at thinking of something else, you'll start thinking of something else. Sorry. Okay. That's just how it goes. What is his advice from that point on? Who's here? We have translators. I wish it wouldn't keep moving, people. Who's next? Oh, Anastasia, you're next. So you get a short one, number 153.
Then Rania to Zam Resim Mayang Yempar Sun Tum Tuna Sene Tampo Jutseni.
Good. So if you're able to achieve without distractions, counting in your mind to 21, Nerchik. All right. If you're able to reach 21 breaths like that, exhale, inhale 1, exhale, inhale 2. We can say that you reached a point, you've reached the first meditation level. Okay. Semne Dangpo. What is the first meditation level? This is where Prabhupada is starting to transition into his next topic without giving us that information. So if you're able to sit on your cushion and do 21 breaths, where all that you focus on, so without yawning, right? All that you focus on, exhale, inhale 1, 2. And you don't get distracted by anything, including the first thing I noticed when I started breathing was I noticed the air conditioner was running. If you can make it 21, you've reached the first level of meditation. We're going to talk about it a little bit later. There are 9 levels to meditation. Right? Just getting to level 1 is this. Counting to 21. We'll talk about that later. All right. Ludmila, number 154.
Ngar yerpei rupchen un tok gyatso yang rangi koche chikte rit sangya gya soy chaprin yinpe teri
C, Desi. This is pronounced C.
si chaprin che la wu nye chun ve kom la tuk ma sin pa gyurpana uk rang pa ti rupei rapiot.
All right, cool. Good job. All right, so we have this person here. You have to kind of you have to start recognizing what looks like a name. Hunso Punso Getso, right? Getso means an ocean, right? Punsok means something like a lot of great qualities. Like excellent, right? Punsok means like excellent ocean. You just have to kind of start recognizing names. So there's a guy named Punsok Gyatso. He was greatly accomplished, Drupchen, and he's from a place called Yerpa. Okay, some place in Tibet, like Western China there. All right. Okay. So he was basically, what is this? This the Kuche, I think is what this is. Hold on. Kuche. Yeah. So one of his relatives, all right, Kuche, one of his brothers, whose name is Desi Sangegatsu. All right. Basically, one of his brothers is an assistant to this guy. Okay, so it's kind of a weird story. This guy, all right, Punso Gyatso has a relative, Kuche, who's an assistant. I think it's Shubtring is the assistant. Let me make sure I got that right. Yeah, okay. He's an assistant Subtring to this other guy who's a government official. All right. Okay. Basically, he was meditating and he wasn't able to stay off. He wasn't able to stop thinking about all the problems he was having at work. The whole point of this story, who cares who these people are? The point is, he was meditating and he couldn't stop thinking about all the problems he had at work. Does that sound familiar to anybody? Right. Of course. Like we sit to meditate and all of a sudden you start thinking about all your problems, right? And so he definitely did. He tried this breath meditation thing and he was able to succeed. Okay. Basically what it says. Right. He succeeded, Rapya. So the main point here is he's saying, look, we're all going to have this problem. We're all going to sit down and we're going to start thinking about all the problems that we have at work. Okay, everything that what arises in our mind during meditation are our problems. So he's saying one of the solutions is to focus on your exhales and inhales. What's the problem here? What's the problem? We're going to go into have a little break. Take a little break from the Tibetan. What's the problem here? The guy is sitting to meditate. He's thinking about all his problems at work. And Pabonka says, do these breath meditations. And then he was able to meditate. What's the problem here? Is focusing on your breath going to stop you thinking about the problems at work? Maybe. Or why are you thinking about problems at work, Christian? Because you did something in the past to create that busy mind, right? And the only way the breath meditation will work to calm your mind down is if you have the seeds for those things to work. All right. So Pabonka is giving us all these techniques. Well, if this doesn't happen, do this. If this doesn't happen, do this. If this doesn't work, do this. Right. But he's later on going to just say, none of this works. None of this is actually really helpful unless you learn how to eliminate those seeds in the first place. So when you sit down, you don't think about your problems at work. I went into retreat 2 weekends ago, literally thinking about a problem at work. And all it did was distract me, and nothing took away these thoughts. I'm trying to find solutions. I'm like, I'm going to use my meditation for creative solutions. Right. And all of a sudden, my heart rate's going up. I'm not doing anything to calm myself down. And when I realized what was going on, I was like, oh, that's right. Be creative, damn it. Solve the problem. Right? But that's not how it works. Right. It's because there's an eclipse today that I think about all my problems. Right? If you live in Argentina or Chile, or you're in Easter Island or in Hawaii, you get to see an eclipse today. All right. So, right, but why? Like, why do I have to experience the eclipse season as something that distracts my mind? How about that? Right? Sure, it might be possible that the alignment of the stars and the planets and the sun and the moon and all these things do affect your mind. I don't know. I don't know about you, but the way I sleep after a full moon versus before a full moon is different, right? Cycles in the body are oftentimes related to the moon's gravity, right? So don't tell me they don't affect you. But why do you have to see that in the first place? Why do you have to see that affecting you anyhow, right? Why does it have to be a negative thing? Why isn't it a positive thing? Why isn't it when Jupiter's in Scorpio, I'm in a good mood? And why? Sorry, translators. This is what happens when I don't sleep enough. But Pabonka is telling us, like, these are all the things you should try. But what you really should try is when you're not on your meditation cushion, is trying to do things to not be obsessed with problems when they arise. Problems will always arise, folks. Sorry. Your life will always have problems. If we're in samsara, there will always be a problem. But what kind of seeds could you plant that when problems happen, it doesn't throw you out, doesn't knock you down? Like, what kind of seeds would those be? Anyhow, let's go back to Pabonka. So this dude had a problem at work, and he breathed well, and then he was able to not think about his problem. Literal translation, Pabonka's translation, vis-a-vis Tim. All right, 155. Let's see here. Laura, you got a short line. Congratulations.
Good. Detar Chakang
Chekang.
Chekang Gopama Chodna Red Siktun Rolwar Ja.
Nice. That's not so bad.
It's not so bad.
Right. Okay. All right. If from there you are not able to not able to cut your agitation, if you're not able to do any of those things, right? All those things don't have a solution for you. It's probably best to just break off your meditation session. Just stop. At that point, you're not meditating anyway. you've tried everything and it's not working, be like, wave your little white flag and be like, all right, I'm done, and get back up. Let's see what 156 has to tell us. Michael Hoffman.
Tinadang por penpa tangne yuntung mures gom. Yunring chena je sur samten gi den tongwa nang gi lupadang kyuk droar ngirwe gom du hin tro chepa tar gom dang sange jepa gel chete.
All right, this word bro is toe. It's like almost a TRO, toar. It's not bro.
Oh.
Just pointing at it. I'm like, bro. Okay, nice reading. All right. So from there, what should we do? And this is really, really good advice. Okay. What should we do is that we should be focusing on how much meditation we do, and we should be focusing on doing shorter sessions, tongnu, right? Our meditation sessions should be shorter instead of longer. So if you end up doing things that are too long, right? Like if your meditation session is too, oops, sorry. If your meditation session is too long, right? Jungring Chena, if it's too much, okay. When you look at your meditation cushion, you're not going to feel so good about it. And you might even sense aversion. Okay. And I like this expression here. Okay, it's actually kind of gross. Kyuk trowa. Okay. It means aversion, but truk means to throw up, to vomit. Okay. Right. And so it's like troar can mean to taste. So like literally it tastes like vomit. Okay. When you look at your meditation cushion, like it's kind of funny. Like it's like the expression we have in English is I threw up a little bit in my mouth. Like when you burp, or like you've eaten something a little uncomfortable and like you can like taste your own vomit. It's gross. I know no one else does it. Only Tim does this, right? Of course. Right. But that when it like the expression is I threw up a little bit in my mouth, like when you see something that's just a little bit disgusting, right? It's just an expression. You don't actually throw up, but it's an expression. So the taste of throw up appears in your mouth when you look at your meditation cushion, right? Hold on just 1 second. I'm looking up another word here. And then he says, what you should still do is that when you cut off that meditation, you should cut off your meditation when you're still want more meditation. Okay. So what he's saying is like, you're having a good meditation, things are going well. And you're like, okay, things are going well. Now you should cut off the meditation. You should end your practice on good terms. Okay. Why? Psychologically speaking, why? Why should we meditate? Why should we? Right, exactly, Yasheng. Because then you'll want to do it again. You'll have a desire to do more of it. If you cut off your meditation when you're having a crappy time, you're going to then look at that cushion and you're going to throw up a little bit in your mouth. Right? So this is kind of combined together, and I'll explain it to you in easier terms. First, make your meditation shorter, right? Do shorter sessions, right? Don't be a hero and try to do an hour-long session if you haven't done any hour-long sessions. Why? Because it will just not work for you. All right. So that's the first thing, have shorter sessions. And in those shorter sessions, when things are going well, stop the session. End on a high note, right? Like, and psychologically, that encourages you to want to come back more. So what does this kind of look like in practice? One of the ways that this can look like in practice is, and it's an advice that my teacher gives, is that start with 10 minutes of meditation, right? And then every week, add 1 more minute onto it. So your mind is getting stronger and stronger, just minute by minute. You're not adding heroic amounts of time, but that gives you this, that gets your mind accustomed to doing the meditation. Now, in that 10 minutes, if you're experiencing agitation or dullness or whatever you're experiencing, you can apply these techniques, but keep it short and sweet. And if you're at minute 9, which you shouldn't be looking at the timer anyway, but if you're at minute 9 and it's going really well, just stop. Be like, okay, I'm good. And then move on. And I promise you, it'll make your meditations much, much better. That's 157. Who would like to read now? Oh, you interpreters. Yasheng, how about you? You get a nice long paragraph.
Sorry, is there an echo?
Yeah, I think one of your computers is
Okay.
there you go.
Ha na mi. Okay, you're gonna help me. In zen ge yang na je so tan yang da wa ta den so na so do cho
Where I know sound. It's like sauna sound
sao na sam do tro che mi sa na mi sa do tro cha sam pa zin do da dang kun so na gong na la pa on dra yam pa na sam sen na jesu sam in do pa dang ro yang de huh so pro ro yang de sin na yang ba de ta yang te gong pa le i.
Lake Key. Nice. All right. That was a long paragraph. Sorry. All right. And he says, for example, perna, if you're with friends and you part on good terms, you'll be happy to see each other again. All right. Like if you have a good experience with somebody, you want to hang out with them again. If you don't have a good experience with them, you don't want to hang out with again. I mean, that's pretty obvious, right? If you don't like someone, you don't like someone, right? Why would you spend time with us? Siri thought I was talking to her. So if you like someone, you will hang out with them again. If you don't like them, you won't hang out with them. Pretty clear. So another example, if the meditation is clear, selna, right? And then break it off when it's clear. This is what it says. If your meditation is not clear, break off the meditation when it's not clear. All right. This is what it says. This is what they say. All right. So that seems like a really weird thing to say. Like when it's clear, break off when it's clear. When it's not clear, break off when it's not clear. Basically, what I think Pabonka Rinpoche is saying is you really don't have control of the quality of your mind right now anyway. Okay. If you are lucky and you're able to change the quality of your mind, the agitation and the dullness, do it, try it. But if you can't do it, meditation is not clear. Well, get up and do something else. And he's saying if things are going well, just like with good friends, you know, save some of that goodness for later. All right. Let's see here. Okay, right. So what he's saying is you'll desire, you'll want dupa to go back to meditation if you cut it off when things are going well, right? And then if you keep doing this, okay, you will, if you keep doing it like that, right? Like that, then you will really enjoy meditation and your meditation will constantly improve. All right. So for beginners, with things going well, if it's going well, be like, great, and stop. And then you'll want to come back to it. If things are going bad and you've tried all the things, you've done all the stuff, that doesn't work, get up and do something else. Go plant some better seeds. But he says if you keep doing that over and over again, when things are good, stopping it and coming back, stopping it and coming back, then you will want to do more of it and you'll be more motivated to show up at your meditation cushion. Sorry. Another ant. Then you'll show up at your meditation cushion and you won't throw up when you look at it. All right. It's basically what he says. All right. 158. How about, let's see. A lot of you are hiding as per usual. How about Ila? Let's do 158. I think your microphone is off. There we go.
咪，其实我不会念的。咪小把啊用心 do 啊 Da Jung 这是
去
去羊马谁拿拉欧苏鸭羊狗猪熊拿不会读了。
You're doing great. Keep going. Just keep going.
好，一苏阿米
So,
狗
so.
cell
Mhm.
cell 八这是
Tro.
cho
Mhm.
拿云配
Good job. The first time is always hard. You did a
不是
wonderful
第
job.
一
Good job. Okay. Okay. If your meditation is not clear, all right, and you keep insisting on trying to make it clear, if it's not clear, but you keep insisting on trying to make it clear, all right, all this is going to do is exhaust you. Okay. All you're going to do is just get tired. Okay. And so basically, the next time you try to meditate after that, you just won't have any clarity. Miselva. All right. So basically, what he's saying is like, if your meditation isn't clear and you keep trying over and over and over again to make it clear, what ends up happening is that you just get so tired and then you don't want to meditate. And then the next time you meditate, it won't be clear. And then you're going to keep planting seeds for lack of clarity. Right. So that's why we start short and then we build up to a much more advanced practice from there. All right. We have 2 minutes. Let's not waste time, but we won't get through this one. Let's just read this one for good luck. How about Constanza? Yeah, there you go. I know. You've been hiding. You can read this one and then one class.
She's translator.
I think I'm translating. I don't know if you can hear me.
Oh, I thought she was
Yes.
recording. Oh, I'm sorry. I thought she was recording.
Yeah.
Okay, sorry. How about Christy as he waves his hand?
Nartru, Choglo, Shanam, Gyalgi, Kadam, Sung, Tor, Ui, Chaglung, Salwana, Tengsang, Migmei, Durang, Yud, Dulwei Du, Mingi, Jan Yud, Dulwei Du Min, Jepe, Samsush, Shumne, Nangma, Tupar, Chogtsam, Shegpe, Chi Nin, Dangyang, Ninkyang Tsig, Samdekar, Jungwei Nang, Matupe, Rab Shinyin.
Nice. Okay, I'm going to quickly give you the gist of this paragraph and then we will end today. Basically, there's a lama. His name is Lobsang Namgyal. All right. And he was teaching, and he says something pretty cool. Is he says, the times that we're in, we have to be careful to watch our own morality rather than the morality of others. Okay. And the story mainly goes as he basically says this in these awful times. What we should be doing is focusing on our own ethics and not on the ethics of others. And then as he's telling the story, he starts crying and he's not able to continue his teaching. And then he for the next couple of days, he's not able to make it beyond this part of his teaching because it upsets him so much. And so we will leave it there and return to that next week. Like, why does Pabonka Rinpoche start talking about ethics? Like, all of a sudden he's talking about ethics here, and the guy's upset and he's not able to teach. And he says it's kind of like our meditation. Like, if we don't break it off too soon, we won't have good meditation. But he tells us a story about ethics. And there's a lesson in there. And we will talk about it next week. Yay. All right, everyone. Have a really great day. Really quickly, what we have coming up at the end, starting next Friday, is we have a Medicine Buddha retreat starting at Diamond Mountain. And we have a really cool program. First, Geshe Michael is going to be teaching about Nagarjuna, from Nagarjuna's wisdom. And then we're going to be giving additional classes called Completing Your Transformation, Advanced Medicine Buddha Practice. And, oh, oops. Well, I already started. Someone just told me I shouldn't be advertising right now. Anyway, I don't think we have a lot of people. But if you live in a country where you're able to come to a Diamond Mountain program, how about that, Francisco? And there's some countries you're not able to. We're going to be teaching some advanced medicine Buddha practices to make the practice more powerful. So, Anastasia, if you can put the link in the chat, please. We highly, highly recommend you coming to this. If you live in a country where you can attend those programs, if you don't, I'm sorry, but that's just how it goes, and we can change the seats for later. But I wanted to just highlight this program because it's going to be very, very powerful and very, very deep. And if you're not able to pay for it, we're just giving you suggested amounts because it does cost a certain amount of money for us to run the programs. But if you would like to attend those classes on advanced medicine Buddha practice, let us know and we can find a scholarship for you because it's going to be very, very powerful. So I hope you can make it. And if you're in a country that you can join these programs, great. If not, I'm sorry. But we always respect the laws and customs of every single country. Cool. Thank you all very much for joining today. Very much appreciate each and every one of you. I'm glad that you're here. I'm glad you're interested in learning about meditation too. So have a wonderful day. And thanks, translators. I'm sorry. This is what happens when I don't sleep very much. I talk too much and I don't give you space. So my apologies. And I hope you have a good day and say goodbye to each other.
Goodbye, Tim.
Thank you.
Thank you so
Good
much.
day.
Thank you so much.
Gracias.
Thank
Get
you,
some sleep.
team. Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Thank you,
谢谢
teacher.
翻译老师。
Ciao, everybody. Thank you, team.
And
Thank you so much.
thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you，亲，谢谢翻译老师。
Ciao.